Hello YouTube, back again. I thought I'd show you some toys I picked up recently. These toys have been picked up from online toy shows and car boot sales. So, a couple of weeks back, I went to the Exeter Toy Fair. It's put on by Bulldog Fairs. And whilst walking around, this is something I've wanted in my collection for years. I love 12-inch figures, especially the 12-inch Star Wars line. And they did 12 figures altogether actually of the 12-inch line. And they didn't release Yoda. But what they did release was Yoda as a puppet. It came in a little box. And he is literally a puppet. So he's like a rubber puppet, handheld puppet. He has like little bits of hair at the back, which usually this is often missing. He's stamped Lucasfilm Limited 1981, made in Hong Kong. So he comes like a little display box usually. He has got a bit of wear on his ears, which is usual. If you ever buy rubber products, sounds a bit weird, but if you buy rubber toys, that sounds weirder, even more weirder. You'll notice things perish over time. Action Man diver suits perish quite a lot. O-rings which hold G.I. Joe minifigures together, they perish over time. You know, it's one of those things you have to, time will, unfortunately, be cruel on these toys. But I've always loved this puppet because I always think he looks so good. He just looks exactly like what I imagine Yoda looked like. I've always liked Yoda as he looked in the original series as opposed to what he looks like in the prequels. It's originally based on the original, I think it's the original designer, and Albert Einstein. So usually in box these can go for like £100. Sometimes you can get them a bit cheaper, £80, £75 if you're lucky. I've always tried to save my money to buy one, but every time I go to buy one, they're always on the 100+ side, and nobody ever buys them. There was a few dealers that actually had these for sale at the show, and they were all wanting £80 each for a loose one. And I was like, do you know what? I can't afford to pay that. I've always wanted one, but I just had to say no. And most of them, I think 2 of them they had there for sale. One of them was missing the hair. And then a little tip for anybody who ever buys toys. This is to give my insider trade secrets away. When you go to toy shows, a lot of toy shows will sell. Each dealer will have their own particular niche. So if you go to a dealer which has a table full of Star Wars stuff, chances are he or she is going to know the price of these items, and they might price them a bit accordingly. So they know this item sells continuously for say £50. They might put £50 on it. They could go higher and put 55, and then they might get knocked down a bit. They might go £40 to try and get rid of it and give somebody a nice bargain. But the tip is, if you go to other dealers that don't do Star Wars. So I went to a dealer that I've met a few times, and he sells like dinky toys, he sells trains, he sells toys from the 50s and 60s. Now, he knew what it was. I mean, hardly anybody doesn't know who it is, especially if you're into collecting toys. He knew it was loose, he knew it had wear. So he kindly gave it to me for £12. And it's not something I'm going to be selling, not for the time being. It's going straight to my collection because I love it so much. It's a really good puppet. I mean, he's just it just feels like Yoda, if that makes sense. But yeah, lovely item. I'm so glad I got it for that price. The guy was really funny when he was giving it to me. He was doing his impressions of Yoda, and that was quite a good laugh. So, it's gone to a good home. I really am going to cherish this one. So next time I found, this was in like a pound box. And it's made by Matchbox. It's an Easy Rider. It's called Matchbox Super Kings K47 Easy Rider. So it's your kind of like, it's a Fonda and Jack Nicholson and Dennis Hopper, Easy Rider. It's basically that really, long haired biker dude. This was £1. I'm going to try and aim for about £25 for it loose. The paintwork's really nice. Usually with these things, the figure's missing, and all the artwork, like on the back here, the sticker will be missing. It does suffer from problems with the chrome, which is usual with the toys which are made of chrome. They're kind of chrome plated. It's red underneath, but it doesn't really distract that much. And if you have a chroming machine, you might want to kind of like refix it. But it's a lovely colour, lovely item. So this one I will be selling. Next up, I bought a job lot of stuff, and it came with this. So this is the Mettoy Joytown service station. It's basically a place you put your cars in. It's really lovely made. Now, I don't really go for toys this sort of age, but when it comes to quality, you can't really say no. Think about it, this toy's probably from the early 60s, maybe late 50s. It's in lovely condition. There's hardly any rust that I can see. The artwork is great. There's a few marks, and it shows its age. It should have doors on it, which means I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit of a hard sell. They do. There's a fire engine station you can get, which has beautiful doors and it opens up and it looks amazing. But actually, I still think this is worth it, because if you had a service station, you kind of want to have all the cars displayed inwards and outwards anyway. You'd never really have the doors closed unless you were playing with it. And people who buy these sort of things probably want it basically for their to display. Now, if these are complete with the doors, with the trucks and everything, I've seen them go for bundles go for £250. Now that's a lot of money, and I'm not expecting that sort of thing. But I can't find any of this particular unit for sale. So I'm asking £40 for it. I'm open to offers. It's a wonderful, lovely little piece. Great for display. If you have die-cast toys of any quality really, dinky, Matchbox, it would look perfect with this. Lovely artwork, the shell, the red line. It's metal made. Tin. Absolutely beautiful. So next up, I went to a toy fair, and there was a dealer there, a really lovely dealer, and he had this for sale. And what he was doing was he basically had all of these Star Wars badges for sale. Just take that one out for now. So he had all these Return of the Jedi badges for sale, and he was asking £3 a badge. What was Yoda? My favourite, the little baby Ewok. Everyone's hero, Chewie. Everyone loves Chewie, don't they? Emperor's Royal Guard. And I think I probably paid up for this sort of thing. But he basically wanted basically £30 for the whole box. And if you can see it, if it's just a lot of Star Wars point of sale stuff can go for a lot of money. So things like shop display signs can go for thousands. One's on the first for the first film. For example, the 12-pack action figure big display box which they came in, that can go for £4,000 or £5,000. So I'm not really after the money. It doesn't always appeal to me, but I thought for £35 this is a bit of an investment. Yes, it's got wear to it. Yes, it's a Return of the Jedi. It's not the most wanted out of all the 3 films, but it's still cool. It's still a piece of history. It's got lovely artwork to it, lovely red colours going for it, and at the moment I'm not sure I want to sell it or not. I might just keep it in my collection because it just looks awesome. I do have to try and work out how I'm going to support that back bit to keep it up. because it's annoying, it keeps falling forward. And it doesn't really look that nice close because the back white bit is pretty boring. So I'm going to try and work out a way getting that to stick up somehow. But it comes with these really cool badges. I'm not really sure how many there is in a set. They're really well quality made. You can tell they're not like bootleg or any old cheap brand. Has a Lucasfilm on the side, rights reserved 1983. So I'm probably going to try and see if I can get a few more of these badges and just fill it up really. Have it in my own collection. Maybe one day I might sell it on. If anybody's interested in it, they can more than welcome to offer me a price. But currently I think I might just set my own collection. But one thing it did come with, which I haven't actually looked at yet, it came with a packet of Return of the Jedi stickers. It's made by Topps. I haven't actually looked at these yet. So you get 5 stickers per pack. As you can see on the back. Return of the Jedi. Collect the entire set of 180 stickers. So you've got a Max Rebo, it's bound. Oh, lovely. You have Leia in her slave outfit. I do not know what this creature is. Definitely wasn't produced in the original lineup of action figures, but probably in the Power Force 2 lineup or the Vintage Collection lineup. I'm pretty sure that's probably been made by now. The back of Luke's head is on the barge. Last but not least, Leia in that perfect Star Wars hair buns. I didn't realise actually with these Return of the Jedi cards they actually put pictures from previous films. I thought it was all from Jedi basically, but clearly not. So this might be a line I might have to collect. I'm always collecting stuff, alright. Never give up. Cool, last but not least, let's have a look at this next item. Will you see that there? It's the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom 150 piece puzzle by Waddington's. Comes with a really cool poster inside, which is basically just a picture you see on the front of the cart. It's 100% complete. I currently do have it for sale. It's £15 plus postage if anybody's interested. But I don't mind if it doesn't sell because I love Indiana Jones. Love it so much. Box is really nice condition. It is made up complete. Not the best image in all fairness, just the minecart, but you know, it sums up that film quite well. And you don't really see these as much anymore. You see quite a lot of the vintage Star Wars Waddington's puzzles, especially the Return of the Jedi ones. I've got loads of those for sale, and some in my collection. We don't really see any Indiana Jones ones. I remember I bought this from a dealer who had a whole box full, and he wanted basically, I think it was £5 if it didn't have its not map, £5 if it didn't have its poster, or £10 worth of poster. So, you know, I'm not trying to make any much profit on it. £15 plus postage if anybody's interested. But, you know, it's a lovely piece to have, and any Indiana Jones 80s collector should have something at least vintage Indiana Jones in their collection. So whilst this is not a piece I picked up recently, I thought this was a nice item to show off to people because you don't really see these that often. This is the original Action Man store display sign. It's actually part of a larger set where, if you can see the grooves, they all connect together. One has a tank, one has another picture of the soldier in the background. It's like a 3-piece set. It's really hard to come by. I've only seen one complete for sale, and I've never seen any other pieces for sale at all. You might not know, but I'm a massive Action Man collector. I've been collecting Action Man for about 6-7 years now, and whilst I do like collecting the actual figures, things I like the most, bar and fire, all the memorabilia and all the shop display signs and advertisements that came with the brand. So Action Man is made by Mettoy, same company that produced Star Wars figures in the UK. And the artwork on Action Man is just absolutely beautiful. It's often copied by other companies who make miniature toys, like, like model kits or war comics and stuff like that, because it is just so beautiful. It's really sad that nowadays that you don't really get good artwork. The last real big good line of artwork was probably the He-Man Master of the Universe line. That artwork is beautiful. But sadly, you don't get this anymore. When they released the Action Man 50th anniversary line, they did have artwork on the side, but it was never this sort of level of painting. And it's really sad, really, because this is something that's so beautiful. Now, if anybody does have any pieces like this, or any similar items, give me a shout. I'm always interested in maybe purchasing them, or more importantly, I'm very interested in documenting them. I'm trying to run my own little blog where I document all the weird Action Man items that have existed over the years. So if you do have anything of in your collection, please contact me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate it as always. Thank you very much.